Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn's Car Collection, and we're driving another Lamborghini Urus. All right, so the Lamborghini Urus is one of my favorite SUVs. Now, is it a real Lamborghini? Well, let's find out in this video. All right, so we don't have a V10 or a V12. We have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine producing 641 horsepower. We have a commanding driving position, and I can see why all these professional athletes and football players drive Uruses. It is really, really cool. Now, of all the cars I've driven, and I've driven pretty much every Lamborghini, stick shift, paddle shift, V10, V12, this car gets more attention than any of those cars combined. Maybe SUVs appeal to more people, maybe that's it, but and the last one I drove was white, and it got a ton of attention. People stopped me everywhere I went getting gas, which you'll do a lot in this car, taking pictures of it. People stop me. So let's see in this bright red color. But this is a phenomenal car, which I really, really like. All right, so first of all, it's very fast. Now we have a low tire warning, but I just put air in the tires, so it's fine. It just hasn't reset yet. And actually, I don't know how to reset it. So we're gonna drive through some twisty roads here. Then we're gonna pull off to the side. We'll go over the interior and exterior features, and then we'll hit some really cool features on the way back. So remember, if you like these kind of videos, subscribe. I'm almost at 16,000 subscribers. I hit 20,000 subscribers. A lot more doors will open up. So please remember to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Like and share this video so our channel can grow. And as always, leave a comment below. And special thanks to DCH Acura in Verona, New Jersey for allowing me to review this car. Now, you don't buy this car for gas mileage. You buy this car because you want an SUV and you want the coolest SUV. And I don't think you can get one that sounds better than this one. I mean, I think the Range Rover SVR sounds phenomenal, and so does this Urus. All right, so let's turn down this back road here. All right, we're gonna go into manual mode and we will accelerate. Now, this car is a monster, and it is really fast. I can see why. Now, I don't know if I'd buy this if I didn't own a Lamborghini, but if I had a Huracan, Aventador, Murcielago, I could definitely see myself owning one of these as an SUV. Money's no object. This is probably the best and certainly most fun SUV out there. The problem is slow minivans in front of you, but this car really, for what it is, it handles great. I mean, it's a heavy car, but it really, really hides its weight. I would take this over a Cayenne in a second. Don't pretend this is a sports car. I know a lot of people, they get a sport SUV and it's like, oh, it's better than a sports car. Believe me, it's not better than the Huracan Evo I just drove or the Aventador, but it is a fantastic car. So now we're gonna downshift in a second. The downshifts are pretty good. They're not instantaneous, but they're very good for what it is. The car stays very flat, and that's what allows it to handle so well. So we have different settings here. I'm gonna put it into Corsa, which is race mode now. And now this is at its loudest setting. We got a different heads-up display comes up here, and it actually shows us like a red line, like a Formula One car. It shows what gear we're in, because that's important when we're in race mode. Now the car is the loudest. We can hear the exhaust and the engine much better. All right, and we'll come to the light here. We're gonna turn left. So we'll put it back in sport mode. And I don't know if you could tell, but the tachometer will certainly change. It only goes one way, I guess, so we'll have to go through everything to get back to sport. You got your parking brake down here. You got all your assists, your cameras. The cameras are pretty good. It's got a really good 360 camera. This may show fingerprints, but I do like this layout a lot. It's very easy to use to change our temperature. We have heated seats here as well. All right, let's see here. We'll take it up the road and then we'll turn, we'll pull over so I can show you some more stuff. This is the second time I'm driving this, so I'm way more familiar with it. You have a very good 0 to 60 time. It's very fast. And in this color, you're definitely showing off a little bit. All right. I got decent paddle shifters here. They feel good in my hands. I always like bigger the better for paddle shifters. Downshift. Being in the auto mode, even though I can press it in manual at the touch of the button, it keeps defaulting back into auto, and of course, putting me into higher gears. Sorry for the gloomy weather. I'm filming this in the middle of a northern New Jersey winter, and we don't get sun till like the spring. We did some really cool videos today, the McLaren 570 GT, a Ferrari F430 Spider, so make sure to browse the channel. 900 car reviews, the most of any YouTube channel. All right, so we're gonna pull over here and we'll go over the interior and exterior features. All right, here we are with the Urus, guys. We got 2 keys, Lamborghini keys. Has the Lamborghini symbol right on it. Beautiful Urus. This is probably one of the best looking ones I've seen in this color red. The last one we did was white. So why am I doing another one? Well, I love this, and I'm not sure that all you guys hit the notification bell that you're able to see the video on the white one, but that actually attracted more attention, and I've driven every iteration of Lamborghini than a Huracan or Aventadors that I've driven. So you have the quad exhaust pipes here, which looks mean. You got that V8 engine. Phenomenal car, comfortable. You got the huge wheels. Huge. You want to make a statement? This looks great with the red and the tinted windows. You can definitely sit in the back seat, no problem. I'm 6 feet tall and can easily fit back here with a ton of room to spare. You got a huge sunroof. It's not sunny today in New Jersey. A ton of legroom. I'm sitting behind myself and I'm 6 feet tall. So you would have to, somebody shorter, you'd have a ton of legroom. I'd be very comfortable here for hours. Look how much room I have. That's my normal seating position. Put my feet up, still have a ton of room. So very practical. You have a big hatch, and of course you have the engine. We can take a look at that in a second. The Urus lights up, so you know you bought the expensive one, and we could take a quick look. The fan is still on because we just got done driving it, and we just press under here. Here we go, is the latch, and there is that beautiful twin turbo V8 engine. And just like the Huracan, we have the firing order here, 137265484 for the cylinders. Easily closes, fits into place, no problem. There we go, nice and closed. Let's go inside and start her up. I'll show you some features. So this car is full of luxury. You got the flat bottom steering wheel. So just like a Huracan and the Aventador we drove, you lift that up. That's your start and stop button. It's got a good stereo. We're not going to play that because I couldn't monetize the video. We don't have a flat tire because I just put air in the tires. There was a low tire just because it was cold today. You see this car is averaging 5.7 miles per gallon. Well, it's the way you're driving it and the way you're with the big horsepower too. So here we go through all the different, I did this in the other video so we don't have to spend too much time. So obviously you have sport courses like your race mode. That makes it sound the best. We'll drive in sport mode since it's not my car. Electronic parking brake or your other aids here. You have the radar cruise control as we saw in the front. You can drive in an eco mode. Why would you ever do that? This is, so reverse is right here. You pull it back and that brings up this camera. So 360, you can change around the different views here, and that tells you have sensors on both front and rear bumpers. To put into first gear, click on the paddle just like a Ferrari. That puts you in drive. You can override it to do manual mode. This is all your air conditioning controls. Now you can change around with these buttons, the steering, suspension. So we're going to leave it in comfort suspension. So we have medium suspension, sportive, smooth. So we're going to do smooth just so we don't have shakiness with the camera and the bumps. We can do that. We'll do sport with the steering wheel, but we could also do smooth with that. Medium, I was driving in before. And then we did with the, I guess the chassis control here. We'll put that in sport. All right, so we'll fire away. We're in first gear ready. We'll let the car shift for itself. Such a gloomy day. I apologize for the gloominess, but that's New Jersey. All right, so we'll go now. Now it handles well for what it is, okay? So if you're like, well, I want a Huracan, but I have kids, or you know, I want more room, so I'm buying the Urus, no. But if you want like a real cool, you want a Range Rover SVR, you want a Land Rover, you want a Cayenne, I would take this money, no object, and try to buy these used. I mean, they really hold their value. They really sell instantly. These sell quicker than the other Lamborghinis. The Evo Spider that I drove a couple weeks ago is here, but this Urus will not, and that's why I'm driving it today, because I know it won't be here next week when I come back to film. So now we did a little sportier setting, so I do feel the bumps a little more. If you're looking for the ultimate in luxury, then maybe you want a Range Rover or one of the Bentley or Rolls-Royce SUVs. But if you want to have fun, you definitely want the Urus, and that's why I like these so much. If I could afford one, I would definitely own one. And I just like how it looks in here. It reminds me, it really has a Lamborghini look. It looks like a Huracan in here, essentially, with the vents and the controls. Oh, here comes one of the buses again. We ran into that when we were driving the Ferrari. Not enough room for the That's why you need a skilled bus driver, right? You got the colors of the Italian flag here, the Lamborghini Bull insignia. I like the flat bottom steering wheel. The paddles are metal and feel nice. They're not plastic. Now, of course, this guy signals. All right. Now, the only downsides of this car that I could think of, well, unless you don't like attention, that could be a downside, is obviously gas mileage and price. But everything else is here. It shifts very well in auto mode. We're leaving it in auto right now. And it puts me in the gear I want when I want it. We got a nice heads-up display with the speed limit and the speed that I'm actually driving. Now, here's kind of a test because we have some S-turns here. And this is typically where we find body roll and see the weight of the cars. So this will be a good test for the Urus right here. I'll trail brake it a little bit. And people go over this like they got to cut the turn, really? But see how flat it is? In these turns, we have to obey speed limits, but there's almost no body roll here, and you have a ton of power the second you want it. This could get you in trouble, you know, in real quick. Wow. Now, see how it just did the traction there? It took a second to get that traction, and then the car hooked up. That's what you want in your SUV, right? So now, what SUV would you pick in this price point? I think I would pick this car. Let me know in the comments below. Would you choose a Cayenne Turbo? You know, that's very fast and very nice, but it's not visceral like this. The Bentley or the Rolls-Royce SUVs, they're like sleeping on your couch. I mean, that's probably good if you want to drive from here, New Jersey to California, but it wouldn't be my first pick to have fun. This would definitely be my first pick to have fun. I don't think some of the AMG SUVs are really good. I like the X5M SUV. That was a lot of fun, but none of them give the theatrics that this car does. And I think you got to get it in bright color. Do me a favor, you got to get it in red like this, or blue or yellow. If you have the money and can buy one, buy it today from DCH Acura. I'm sure it's going to sell quickly. Thanks again to Tim, the general manager there, who gives me all these cars to review. Remember to subscribe to my channel. How you can help me get to 20,000 subscribers, which will open up a lot of doors for me, is like these videos, share them, and comment on every one. It's free to like, it's free to comment. You're a car enthusiast, you must like other car enthusiasts, share it with 2 of your friends. All right, so what are my thoughts on this car? Well, I mean, I think there's very little flaws of this car, certainly. One of the flaws would be, you know, price, gas mileage, attention, but those are all good flaws to have. And this is just, you know, whether you're picking up your kids from school or going to a meeting, you probably own your own company. You're an entrepreneur, and I think, you know, Lamborghini fits that entrepreneurial spirit, and I think you would just have a phenomenal time with this car. You can, honestly, I always pick for people not using the paddles, so I'll use them here. That's always like a pet peeve of mine. I think you always have to use the paddles. But shifting around town was perfect, so some of those other cars can be jerky around town. You can play with the settings here, and it's good that we have them. So what we'll do is keep it in sport mode here, and we'll press it now. We're in true manual mode by pressing that button. We were driving in auto mode before, and by pressing the paddles, you could override it. But in traffic, it's probably just best to leave it in auto. And here you have your G meter every different way. So we pulled 1.1 on that acceleration, which is pretty good. It shows you how violent it actually accelerates. But you could drive this like a luxury car too. So you buy this, you have your Aventador, give your significant other this. When you need it, you have the SUV. This would be great like for Pacific Coast Highway in California. You know, if you couldn't take a sports car and you had a lot of luggage, it'd be great with the hatchback. What I like about this car, since it's an SUV, can fit all my hockey equipment and then some. I'm sure there's a bunch of pro hockey players that'll drive this. Sounds really good when you get in the sportier modes, and quiet when it doesn't need to be. All right, guys, well, that guy's making a U-turn in the middle of the road for no reason and blocking traffic. This would be a good place to end the video. So this was a phenomenal car. I love it. I would buy one if I could. Let me know in the comments, would you take this or something else, assuming, you know, money was no object. And I will see you next time.